On a warm summer day in 2000, 16-year-old Molly Bish disappeared from her lifeguard post at a pond in rural Massachusetts. The case captured national attention, as the teenager's family and community launched a desperate search to bring her home. For 3 years, the Bish family lived in agonizing uncertainty until Molly's remains were discovered not far from where she vanished. More than 2 decades later, the case remains unsolved, and the identity of her killer is still unknown. Molly Ann Bish was born on August 2, 1983, and grew up in the small town of Warren, Massachusetts. The youngest of 3 children, she was described as bubbly, athletic, and compassionate. She loved playing soccer and was known for her caring nature and close relationship with her family. In 2000, Molly had just finished her sophomore year of high school and had taken a summer job as a lifeguard at Comins Pond, a popular swimming spot in the nearby town of Warren. It was her first week on the job, and she was excited about the opportunity. But her enthusiasm was not without unease. In the days before her disappearance, Molly's mother, Magi, noticed a suspicious man in a white car near the pond. He made her uncomfortable, but at the time, no one realized the significance of what she had seen. On the morning of June 27, 2000, Magi drove Molly to her job at Comins Pond. They chatted along the way, and Molly appeared cheerful as she prepared for another day of lifeguarding. When they arrived, Magi watched her daughter walk toward the lifeguard stand. It would be the last time she ever saw her alive. Later that day, swimmers began arriving at the pond. To their surprise, the lifeguard chair was empty. Molly's belongings, including her whistle, sandals, and a bottle of water, were still at the site. Panic quickly spread when it became clear that the 16-year-old was missing. What followed was one of the largest and most intense searches in Massachusetts history. Law enforcement, volunteers, and the National Guard scoured the area by foot, helicopter, and boat. Divers searched the pond, and dogs combed the woods. Posters bearing Molly's face were distributed across the state, and her case made headlines nationwide. Despite the massive effort, no trace of Molly was found in the days and weeks following her disappearance. Her family and community held out hope, clinging to the possibility that she had been abducted and might still be alive. 3 years later, on June 9, 2003, a hunter discovered human remains in a wooded area of Whiskey Hill in Palmer, just a few miles from Comins Pond. DNA testing confirmed that the remains belonged to Molly Bish. The discovery devastated her family but also ended the agonizing uncertainty of her disappearance. The investigation shifted from a missing person case to a homicide. From the beginning, investigators suspected foul play. Molly had vanished in broad daylight, from a public location, with no sign of a struggle at the lifeguard stand. The suspicious man in the white car, seen by Molly's mother in the days leading up to her disappearance, became a critical lead. Witnesses described the man as being in his 60s with dark hair, sitting in a white sedan near the pond. Over the years, several suspects emerged. Among them was Rodney Stanger, a man with a violent past who lived in the area at the time of Molly's disappearance. He later moved to Florida and was convicted of murdering his girlfriend. Stanger's resemblance to the composite sketch of the man seen at Comins Pond drew significant attention, but investigators were never able to conclusively link him to Molly's murder. Another potential suspect was Gerald Battistoni, a convicted rapist who was later identified as an FBI informant. He also matched the description of the man in the white car. Battistoni attempted suicide after being named a suspect, which fueled speculation about his involvement. However, once again, no conclusive evidence tied him to the crime. The case of Molly Bish is filled with troubling questions. Why did no one see her being taken from the pond, especially when it was a public place? Was the abduction carefully planned by someone who had been stalking her in the days leading up to her disappearance? And why has it proven so difficult to gather the forensic evidence needed to identify her killer?